In this video, I'm going to show you how the self-assessment part of the financial statement analysis module works. You enable self-assessment by clicking this button, or equivalently you can do it from the menu item on top. So let me click that, and you will see that it downloaded our self-assessment data set. And for every one of these topics, for example, cash flow margins, profitability margins, you will see these cells that ended up in red. All that means is that relative to our self-assessment data set, you have not entered the correct value for that cell. And then the way you solve the problem is that you take information from the financial statements and put them into these cells. Let me select Coca-Cola as the company, which is the one I did in the previous example, and let's work through profitability margins in this case. So the first item I need is sales for Coca-Cola for December 31st, 2011. You can see over here the hint. This is what we call the strong hint. It's telling you exactly what to do. It says that from the 23rd of February 2012 filing, from the consolidated statement of income, go down to where it says net operating revenues. That's what Coca-Cola calls sales. And you will see that over here, take this number and drop it in here. And you can see that it turned green. That means you've done this cell correctly. You will see now the hint changes, and it says that you have to take this next number and put it in over here. Now, as you are doing this, you should pay attention to the numbers, because, for example, even in this case, if I look at these, I can see that the sales have really gone up quite a bit. They went up by 5 billion over here, and they've gone up by an additional 11 billion over here. So it's not simply a question of following the instructions and constructing the topics, but it's also a question of paying attention to what's happening with this company. As you go through this, you will start filling it out. It'll give you various hints about you haven't done this correctly, but let me show you the hint. So this is our detailed hint. You could also have no hint. So it just tells you that the value for cost of sales is not correct, and you need to go figure it out yourself, is what you would do. Okay. There's also a medium hint, and in the medium hint, you will see that that it gives you partial information. It tells you that you have to use these statements, and something from there goes into the cost of sales. And there are two ways in which you could do this. You could, for example, start with the very strong hints, which tells you everything. Finish the problem and then try and redo it with, say, no hints. Or you could do it the other way. You could start with no hints, see how much of it you solved by yourself, and then use the hints as needed whenever you get stuck at some point. The self-assessment doesn't have to be only from our data set. I mean, we have a whole bunch of companies, and that set will increase over time. Somebody could distribute you a self-assessment data file as well. For example, an instructor or somebody else that you're doing this together with, and then you could compare notes and see if you agree or disagree with the other person's construction as well. So essentially, to summarize, the self-assessment mode is a way for you to learn all of the steps involved in each of these constructions for all of the different topics that are covered by this financial statement analysis, and which are really the mainstream topics to work with actual company financial statements and to go through the process of the construction. And so you learn what's in the statements, you learn what's needed, and then eventually you learn how to interpret the information. In the next video, I'll talk about what happens, what additional resources we have for instructors. Thank you.